Alright, cue up the Champions League theme sound. Let me listen to this thing and get into the groove for the 2019-20 Champions League season. Alright, cue it up. What a beautiful song, right? It's such a beautiful song. When you hear this anthem, you just get pumped up. Oh man, such a beautiful freaking song. But guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and I'm back for yet another Champions League season, the 2019-20 season, and we are currently in the qualifying rounds, the third qualifying round to be exact. After the third qualifying round, there's also a playoff round to see which 6 teams will join the 26 teams who are already in the Champions League group stage proper. Last season, before the Champions League group stage got started, I did cover the playoffs, so I said to myself, maybe I should do it again for yet another season. My plan was to start from the preliminary round and go all to the playoffs and then start covering the Champions League as I usually do every single season. But the fact that they had 3 international tournaments going on at the same time, the CONMEBOL, Copa America, the CONCACAF Gold Cup, and the CAF African Cup of Nations, plus I went on vacation, I said, you know what, let me give myself a break and just catch it and jump on when I can. And now I'm jumping on in the third qualifying round. Qualifying rounds are contested by teams who either did not win their respective leagues or teams who are part of lower ranked associations. In last season's third qualifying round, Ajax Athens defeated Celtic, Red Bull Salzburg defeated Shkendia, Red Star Belgrade trumped Spartak Trnava, Bate Borisov went past Qarabağ, Dynamo Zagreb whipped Astana, Molvidi FC squeezed past Malmo, Ajax walloped Standard Liège, Benfica shrugged off Fenerbahce, Dynamo Kyiv edged past Sparta Prague, and PAOK barely got past Spartak Moscow. The winners of the third qualifying ties went on to the playoffs, and Red Star Belgrade, Ajax Athens, Ajax, Young Boys, PSV Eindhoven, and Benfica all qualified to the Champions League group stage proper. So now that we have recapped what happened last season, now let's talk about what's relevant. The 2019-20 UEFA Champions League third qualifying round. In the second qualifying round, these were the results of the respective ties. CFR Cluj of Romania defeated Maccabi Tel Aviv of Israel 3-2 on aggregate. Rosenborg of Norway defeated Bate Borisov of Belarus 3-2 on aggregate. Copenhagen of Denmark defeated New Saints of Wales 3-0 on aggregate. Ferencváros of Hungary defeated Valletta of Malta 4-2 on aggregate. Qarabağ of Azerbaijan defeated Dundalk of the Republic of Ireland 4-1 on aggregate. Dinamo Zagreb of Croatia spanked Sărătoare Tbilisi of Georgia 5-0 on aggregate. Celtic of Scotland completely smashed Nome Kalju of Estonia 7-0 on aggregate. Red Star Belgrade of Serbia defeated HJK of Finland 3-2 on aggregate. APOEL of Cyprus defeated Sutjeska Nikšić of Montenegro 4-0 on aggregate. I had to read that one to make sure I get it right. Maribor of Slovenia defeated AIK of Sweden 4-4 on the away goal rule. Olympiacos of Greece smashed Victoria Pilsen of the Czech Republic 4-0 on aggregate, while Basel got past PSV Eindhoven 4-4 on the away goal rule. Like, I really thought PSV was gonna qualify for the Champions League, but I guess not. Hard luck, PSV. So now we have gotten to the stage that you guys have all been waiting for, where I predict the third round ties. For the first matchup, we have CFR Cluj of Romania versus Celtic of Scotland. I don't know too much about this Romanian team, but I know Celtic is a very, very good team. They missed out on Champions League football last season under their boss Brendan Rodgers, and they would like to make amends by getting all the way to the group stage proper this time around. CFR Cluj, it's a really good achievement for them to even make it to the third round. Their boss Petrescu was a former Romanian international. He played for Chelsea. So as a very, very good former player, he seems to be doing a very, very good job with this team. But from my research of both teams, looking through the squads and all, I don't really see how this Romanian outfit will get past Celtic, who you guys know has been winning the Scottish Premiership year after year. They have been winning trebles up there year after year. So it will be a big feat if Cluj are to defeat Celtic. I don't even know if I'm saying that name right. If I'm not, guys, and you're from Romania, correct me down below. But I'm going to go for Celtic to brush past Cluj here. When I say brush past, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm going to give Celtic the edge here, and they're going to move on to the playoff round. And since I have so many ties to go through, guys, I'm not going to be elaborating too much on these clashes. I'm just going to let you know who I think is going to win, along with a short explanation. APOEL of Cyprus versus Qarabağ of Azerbaijan. These are two very, very gritty teams. It's not easy to play in Azerbaijan. It's not easy to play in Cyprus. So this one is a very, very tricky tie to predict, but APOEL, I think, has the edge here. Qarabağ, as you guys have seen in the past, they have troubled bigger teams, but APOEL, I just think they have the edge here. None of these teams have any big names to really talk about, so it will be a very unpredictable clash. Like, I'm trying to predict it and I'm saying it's unpredictable, but it is very unpredictable. I honestly don't know who's going to come through from this tie, but I'm going to go with my gut feeling and I'm going to say APOEL of Cyprus going to move on to the playoff round. The next one is a huge one. PAOK of Greece versus Ajax Amsterdam of the Netherlands. Guys, we all know how good Ajax has been. Last season, they got all the way to the semi-finals, while for PAOK, they bowed out in the playoff round. I could remember that clearly like it was yesterday, because I did cover the playoff round last year. So PAOK winning the Greek league for the first time in ages. They are in the third qualifying round to face a team who they did not want to draw at all, and that's Ajax. And despite Ajax not having De Ligt and De Jong in their team, both went on to Juventus and Barcelona, Ajax is still a very, very strong unit. They just signed Quincy Promes, they signed the Mexican Edson Alvarez, and a few other players along with those two. You still have Ziyech at the club, Neres at the club, Van der Beek at the club, Daley Blind at the club, Dusan Tadic is still there, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is still there, Kasper Dolberg, Andre Onana. The team is still very good. The core is still there from last season. Plus, they have a few players coming up from the youth setup, and they have players coming back on loan. This team will be a force to be reckoned with in the 2019 Champions League, because I do think Ajax are gonna go all the way to the group stage, and that's making my prediction. But I must say that PAOK will not be an easy opponent to topple. It's not easy to play at the Tumba Stadium. I said that last year, but they still got toppled at the Tumba Stadium during the Europa League. I think Chelsea played them over there. So they would want to use their home court advantage as best as they can and pick up at least a draw. We know Ajax could be a little shaky at home. Ajax play better on the road. Well, I'm speaking from last season, but this PAOK team will be a challenge. They have a new boss in Abel Ferreira, who hasn't really won anything. I don't know what happened to the boss that won the title last season. I did not look too much into that, but Erik ten Hag and his boys will have their work cut out for them with Chuba Akpom, Viorina, and a few other very talented players in that outfit to deal with. But I'm gonna go for Ajax to move on to the playoffs. Next up, we have another very interesting one. Dinamo Zagreb of Croatia, the team I followed last season. They will come up against Ferencváros of Hungary. These Hungarian teams seems to be on the up. Last season, we saw Molvidi FC come all the way through the playoffs, and now Ferencváros. Don't know much about Ferencváros, but I know Sergei Rebrov is the manager of that team, former Ukrainian international, very, very good player. And for Dinamo Zagreb, Nenad Bjelica has done a very good job with this team since he took over. They won the Croatian League last season. They got very, very deep in the Europa League. I think that was one of their best performances in a very, very long time. And the outfit is still very much together. Despite losing a few players like Ivan Šunić, the team is still very much the same outfit from last season. Dani Olmo is still there. Izet Hajdović, Bruno Petkovic, Mislav Oršić, Emir Deliver, who once played for Ferencváros, And it's gonna be a very enticing clash because Croatia, the national team, recently went to Hungary and they lost. So this Hungarian outfit will be hoping that the national team luck rubs off on their top club. But will it happen? Am I gonna predict an upset of some sort here? Could Ferencváros get past Dynamo Zagreb? I don't think so. I think this is where the Champions League qualifiers end, right here. Dynamo Zagreb will move on to the playoff round. Next up, we have Red Star Belgrade or Crvena Zvezda of Serbia. They will face Copenhagen of Denmark. This is not an easy one to predict either because Copenhagen, you know, they are a good team historically. But Red Star Belgrade, they qualified for the Champions League last season and they picked up 4 points in a group that had PSG, Liverpool and Napoli. They even defeated Liverpool. Guys, we could all remember that. That was the same day my son was born. I could never ever forget that win. And they have pretty much the same bunch of players coming back. They don't really have any huge names to talk about, but they have very good players. Milan Pavkov is still there, Marin, the former German international, and Boyan, the Canadian international keeper, is still part of that setup. So they will be a force to be reckoned with in this qualifiers, definitely. For the Danish outfit Copenhagen, they don't have a lot of big names. When looking through the squad, Copenhagen is made up of more Danish nationals, some of the lesser known ones. So I don't think they got what it takes to get past this Red Star Belgrade team at all. So I'm gonna predict Red Star Belgrade to move on to the playoffs. Next up, we have Maribor of Slovenia. What's up, Žiga Karun? I know you're watching this. Against Rosenborg of Norway. Maribor was in the Champions League quite a few seasons ago, but I don't think I have seen Rosenborg in the Champions League recently. Have they ever even qualified for the Champions League? If you know that, let me know down below because, guys, I don't know everything about these teams. For Maribor, they are the current Slovenian champions, so it shows that they have quality. They are led by veteran Brazilian Marcos Tavares, who has racked up over 300 appearances for the club, scoring almost 150 goals. He's 35 years old, so I don't know how effective he will be. For Rosenborg, they have Niklas Bentner in their squad. Well, that will be an interesting one. Would Bentner take Rosenborg over the finish line, or will we see Marcos Tavares do it? Looking through the squads, I'm not really impressed by both squads, but I have to make a decision here. I'm going for Rosenborg to move on over Maribor. So Maribor, prove me wrong. Žiga Karun, I know you'll be disappointed about this decision, but I just think Rosenborg has the edge here. Now for the teams that came through the league path. We have Istanbul Başakşehir of Turkey against Olympiacos of Greece. I don't think I've ever seen Istanbul Başakşehir in the Champions League. Don't know if they ever qualified, maybe back in the day. But Olympiacos has been there recently. Looking through the squads, man, Istanbul Başakşehir, really good squad, man. Really good squad. They have the Brazilian, well, he is some sort of a legend. Robinho in their team still, guys. Robinho is still playing. Former Atletico Madrid and Barcelona man. Well, he is still owned by Barcelona according to what I saw. Arda Turan. This Istanbul Başakşehir team is stacked up. I'm not even mentioning some of the other big players, but they are stacked up. As for Olympiacos, they have signed on a few very good players as well, but I think Istanbul Başakşehir squad looks a little bit more intimidating than theirs. But the fact that Istanbul Başakşehir seems to be perennial butlers and bridesmaids, I don't know if they could do this. Will they get past Olympiacos? That's the big question. Will they get past Olympiacos here? Very tricky team to play, but for some reason I think Istanbul Başakşehir might just scrape through and move on to the playoffs. So I'm gonna go for them. I think the least the players could do for their longtime manager is to help them to the playoff, at least to the playoffs, and they will be in the Europa League once again like they were last season, and they were quite disappointed in that Europa League season. Next up, we have Krasnodar of Russia versus Porto of Portugal. This one on paper is a very, very easy one to predict. The Russian outfit did well last season. They have signed on a few players. I looked through the squad already. But for Porto, with Hector Herrera and Felipe both moving on to Atletico Madrid and Eder Militao moving on to Real Madrid and a few more other players as well I'm not mentioning, the team still looks very, very good. Danilo Pereira is still there. We still have Tiquinho. Otavio is still there. Let's just say that Sergio Conceição team still looks very, very solid. They may sell a few more players because the summer transfer window is still open. But all in all, Porto has a very good recruitment system and talent will come. Talent will come. I'm giving Porto the edge here over Krasnodar. Well, I could be wrong, but Porto, if you can't get past the third qualifying round, man, I don't know what to say about you. This is a team that made it to the Champions League quarterfinal last season. So Porto over Krasnodar. Next up, we have Club Brugge of Belgium against Dynamo Kyiv of Ukraine. Club Brugge made it to the Champions League last season. Dynamo Kyiv did not. Club Brugge did not have to go to qualifiers last season, but Dynamo Kyiv had to, and they failed to qualify for the Champions League. So, Club Brugge, the team looks very, very good. Looking through the squad, Crépin Diatta of Senegal, who had a very good African Cup of Nations. Percy Tau, who was great for South Africa during that tournament on loan from Brighton. Hans Vanaken, Vormer, and a few more very, very talented players. I think this team will be a very hard team to beat. Looking through the Ukrainian squad, no big names to really talk about, but they will be a gritty outfit. It's very hard to play away in Ukraine, so they may have that working in their favor. But I just think Club Brugge are the most solid outfit here, and they're going to get past Dynamo Kyiv to move on to the playoff round. And last but not least, Basel of Switzerland versus LASK of Austria. Basel, man, what you did there to defeat PSV to make it to this third round, very, very good achievement, because PSV, you guys know, very, very talented outfit. And I was shocked. I was really shocked because Basel as of late hasn't really attracted the bigger name players, but PSV has some big players playing for them, playing for the Netherlands national team, Chucky Lozano, Eric Gutierrez, etc., etc., and they lost that game. So Basel against LASK. Looking through LASK, no big names to talk about, none at all. So I'm going to give Basel the edge here. I'm going to underestimate LASK. They don't look too intimidating on paper at all. The game is not played on paper, but I have to make a call here, and I'm going for Basel. Historically has been a very, very good team, a better team. They have been in the Champions League recently as well. I don't know about LASK or LASK. I don't know how you say it, whether they say LASK or LASK. Someone help me out in the comments, please. So Young Boys of Switzerland and Slavia Prague of the Czech Republic await the winners of the 10 ties. And according to my predictions, I think those 10 winners will be Celtic, APOEL, Ajax, Dynamo Zagreb, Red Star Belgrade, Rosenborg, Istanbul, Başakşehir, Porto, Club Brugge, and Basel. Guys, what I want you to do is to share your third round predictions in the comment section down below. It's alright if you don't agree with mine. It's alright if you want to criticize me and say I don't know what I'm talking about. It's quite fine. But leave yours in the comment section down below. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button because I'll be doing 2019-20 Champions League coverage up until the final whistle is blown. Well, I mean the final whistle of the final. You know what I'm talking about. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the effort I put in here. Smash the thumbs up button for yourself for getting all the way through to the end of the video. Thanks for watching again from your boy Dominic Rich. I like to say until next time, peace out. Rich squad. All right, let me get some of the Champions League anthem again. Let me get some more. Let me get some more. I love it. I absolutely love this thing, man. All right, guys. Peace out. That was kind of, well, I won't even say it. Peace out, guys.